Second approach under attention and performance theoretical approaches is social psychological approaches. Under these approaches, there are three theories and one cognitive strategies. First theory is distraction theories, second automatic functioning theory, and attentional style theory, then cognitive strategy. So first, distraction theory. Distraction theory is not about external distractors. Remember this. It's about internal distractors. It's cognitive, affective distractors. Your negative thinking, what ifs, what happened, and placing your thoughts in the past, or something acute stress is going on, or you're not really interested in bored and other thinking start coming in. All that internal distractors taking your attention away from your task, degrading your best performance. Another factor, internal distractor could be self-awareness, a positive way, negative way. So some people pay attention to their own. As an example, it could be their look, good look, or look it's undesirable level. So social physical anxiety is about, concerns about how I look to other people. What if I look too fat? What if I look too short? What if I look too thin? What if I look worry about it? And if they have social physical anxiety, and when they do exercise in the gymnasium, and they are not, they have a hard time to be himself or herself. They just pay attention to their looks. Those who think they're too fat, and they always like flips their shirts, and their attention is basically into their look. Opposite to social physical anxiety is a self-attracted attitude. Some people love their body in full makeup when they go to a gymnasium. That's the problem too. And their attention basically is not on the performance and task. It's on them, their look, their thinking. That is called distraction theories. Okay. Second theory under social psychological approaches is automatic functioning. It's related to automatic processing idea. Opposite is controlling processing, if you remember earlier PowerPoints. Performers could attempt to put the execution of a skill which is normally automatized. So you don't have to think about it. You already know how to do it. It just automatically executed. But somehow, some reason, they put that skill, that performance under controlling processing mechanism. Start paying attention of your movement, which is automatized. Then you mess up the performance. Some of you may think, oh, that's nothing to do with the attention. Yes, it is related to the attention. When does this happen? Normally, when people put their automatized skill under the controlling processings, number one situation is evaluative situation. One short example that I could use in the classroom is your presentation. A lot of students get nervous when they're doing presentation. Normally they talk okay, they could present, but as soon as your performance is watched and being evaluated, then you start getting nervous. Then what happened? Your speech doesn't come out natural. That's the evaluative situation. It happens a lot in sports as well, any other situations. Also, when the importance of an event is placed, that is a major source of a personal stress, and people tend to put their automatized skill under what? Controlling processing. When they worry too much about the outcome, or when they are too motivated to do well. I am determined to do it. I have to make it happen. Like that, tended to put automatized skills under controlling processing mechanism, messing up their best performance. These two videos, you can watch it on your own, but Serena Williams' performance is very short videos. She never get distracted. She focused on her serve routine and never get disturbed, and then that's one video. And Michael Jordan, we all know his free throw rate percentage is pretty high. He could make his free throw with his eyes closed, and later in his video he started thinking about it and missing the shots, and then that's the example of automatic functioning theory. Last theory on the social psychological approach is attentional style, which is related to dominant attentional style. This dominant attention style means, if we go back to personality topic, personality structure, psychological core, typical responses, and then role-related behaviors. Typical responses is attentional style. Attentional style actually is a typical response that we develop over time and it became kind of our traits. In a way, it's our personality, and all of us actually have one of the dominant attentional style that we developed over time, which could help us to perform better. Sometimes it hinder our best performance. You will see why on next few slides. According to this theory, there are two dimensions of attention. One is width, another one is direction. So width means breadth of your attention. It could be very broad, it could be very narrow. So attention field can be broad to the narrow. Direction, internal, external. Internal means your attention is inside of yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and your bodily functions. External means your attention is outside of yourself, so you're paying attention to what's going on in your surroundings. That's external. Combination of these two dimensions creates 4 different attentional styles: broad external, broad internal, narrow external, narrow internal. And again, we all have one of the dominant attentional style, one of these from these 4 have it. And again, that attentional style could help or hurt your best performance. Broad external attentional style is good to use for like a rapid assessment around your surroundings, your situations. Broad external can be used to analyze and plan your game plans or your study plans, your performance plans. Narrow external attentional style is really good to place your attention on exclusively 1 or 2 external cues. So like a free throw shot is good for a narrow external for beginners. Narrow and internal, you don't even look at outside. Your all thoughts and your mind is very narrowly inside of your head. It's really well used when you do imagery visualization training or even practicing like a deep breathing. Narrow internal is the best one. Having that said, I want to show you some examples here. So these are performance here. Classroom performance, full marathon, running 26 miles for like between 2 to 4 hours. Tennis serve, a football quarterback, and physical education teacher, attentional style in 3rd graders, 2nd graders, and personal trainer. Think about what attentional style best suits for this task. Full marathon, what did you say? Narrow external, narrow internal. How about baseball catcher? Narrow external. How about football quarterback? Broad external. How about basketball guard? Broad external. All this performance and task requires combination of different attentional style. So here we go. Marathon, full marathon, 26 miles running, and tennis serve dominantly need narrow internal attentional style. However, once in a while you have to look at outside, so narrow external, according to the expert. Baseball catchers, physical therapists, occupational therapists, personal trainers with their clients or patient, they need exclusively narrow external back and forth with narrow internal so that they can examine what's going on. Once in a while, broad internal, maybe broad external could be needed. For basketball guard, football quarterback, physical education teacher in the classroom with the little children's need all of them. Okay, they need to back and forth around these all different styles. Saying again, here we go. If you are narrow internally focused person as a personality, then you have to perform a task that requires broad external, you suffer in your performance. Opposite is true too. You have a broad external attentional style and you can pay attention all outside very broadly, very good for leaders, okay? But when you have to do a task that requires exclusively narrow internal attentional style, you suffer there. Can we develop attentional style all around? Yes. I told you this is attentional style. Typical responses we developed over time, right? So with more practice, we can develop other side of attentional style so that we can be more versatile in diverse task situation. So I covered the distraction theory, automatic functioning, attentional style, and the last one is cognitive strategies of attention. So in early 80s and throughout the 80s, Dr. Dushman and his colleagues were wondering about long distance runners, including full marathoners, like running 2-3 hours, 4 hours for the lay people runners, like amateur runners. What do they think? While they're running so long like that, where do they pay attention? And they studied from their PPK inquiries, like a social facilitation theory. Then they went out. They had their PPK related question, right? Then they went out and they gathered data. They asked all those full marathoners, what do you think about while you're running? Where do you pay attention while you're running? Then what they found, there are two different cognitive strategies. One is associative attention strategy, another one is the dissociative attentional strategy. Associative attentional strategies more sounds like narrow internal attentional style. Dissociative attentional style is more external and broad, or it could be narrow attentional, external, what is it? External dissociative attentional strategy is associated with broad, narrow, external attentional style. Got it? Okay. So what is associative attentional style? Paying attention to inside of it, your thoughts, feelings, and heart rates, and breathing, and muscle tensions. That's what they're thinking about whole time. On the other hand, there are some runners distracting their attention away from their thoughts and bodily functions. So they watch what's going on outside, look at people, and they listen music to dissociate their attention away from their thoughts and bodily functions. That's a dissociative attentional strategies. Which strategy is more effective? That was their next research question for better running performance. This is what they found, generally speaking. Associative strategies are generally correlated with better running performance for elite athletes. So that's true. Based on my own experience, when I run, I don't distract myself. I have to check how much energy I have, how long I ran, and how far I should go from now on. So my 99% of my thoughts are more internally and narrowly. However, they say leisure runners use both associative and dissociative strategies. And oftentimes people could think, oh, if you distract yourself from running, you are more prone to injuries. But researchers found that it's not really true. But so that means like utilizing dissociation strategies does not increase probability of injury, but it can decrease. It could decrease more of a fatigue and boredom. They also said if we want to increase exercise adherence, sticking to their exercise, running, and whatever they're doing it, dissociation can be better strategies. So I covered all informational processing first approach, second approach, social psychological approaches. Now, psychophysiological approach. Nothing to do with your thinking worries, and nothing to do with the information or like how much information you could hold. It's not like that. It's strictly related to physiological indicators, how your body, the hormones in your body associated with your attentional capability. Next slide, actually, it's about 5 minutes or so, really help us to understand from physiological standpoint why we cannot focus, having hard time to focus on our important task during this pandemic. So enjoy it.